Alright. And we're back. Let's do
Of
this.
course.
I just took care of some stuff. Time to
Hey.
get some quest talk now. What's up?
Strange place for a shrine to Abidan, Crucible Keep. Maybe it made more sense at some point before it gathered all that dust. The only thing the Knights of the Crucible worship these days is the nobility, as far as I understand it.
Okay. Wait, why is it some of the lines are voiced, and some of them, a lot of them just aren't? I don't understand this. Well. Alright, so I knew some soldiers who got recruited by the Knights after the war was over. They told me some about it. They get these young kids in there and they tell them about blacksmithing and about the revolution and about tradition. Talk about the golem like he created the Crucible Knights in his forge to go win Deerwood's independence. Then they join, and it turns out all any of those knights ever talks about is when are we going to get recognized as a real knighthood? When are we going to get it? When are we getting our titles in our land? Their High Justice just wants to be an earl. Says it's Abaddon's will. He's got a castle and an army. You wonder how long he'll wait before he starts a war over it, saying Abaddon told him to. Some members. You see it with the older knights, some of them. They were taught differently. I feel for them, seeing all that slowly wearing away around them, with nothing to be done because the wrong people are in charge. Does that sound familiar? Shame they don't have better people leading them. Do you want to fix those houses, man? Well, it takes time. Alright, let's see what's up with Endurance. Thought I felt your eyes on me. Now come the words.
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skidding your knuckles on the wrong door.
Saw something strange. You were sitting by the fire, and I saw a great light from your
Tell
staff.
me what you saw.
It was a flash like an explosion, a rushing of air, incredibly bright.
It is the light of the Godhammer you saw.
Whoa, you just straight up get XP for this? What?
It was a weapon of Deerwood's people, a symbol of their independence. It saved the Deerwood.
Did it really? What do you know about it?
It brought the Saints' war to an end, knocked a god from his perch. There are few that would deny Aothis overstepped. The Godhammer reminded Aothis of it. You saw its light because I helped shape it, give it life, and release it into the world. Once seen, its glory is almost too bright to be believed, and too bright to be forgotten.
Yo, you got...
There were 12 of us.
Oh, there
We
was the first
fashioned
12,
them,
right?
Drafted
Before
plans
who
for
made
it,
the Crucible
prayed
Knights.
for guidance at Ashfall, and it came to me there. Each of us were given a staff made from the forest of black trees around us, glowing with embers and fire far greater than this branch you see now. It felt as if the staff was Margaren's own finger, guiding my hand, guiding the other 11, the shadows of the 12 who had come to stand on the bridge to stop Aothis.
Shadows
Even
of the
in
12.
that stand, there was a ritual to it. For the 12 that stood on the bridge, there were a dozen shadows cast, a dozen faithful of Margaren, her fiercest supporters and shapers of the Godhammer.
Huh. Alright. Durance rests the staff in front of him, and the flames atop it curls for a moment, the light flaring slightly. It splits into a ring of flames, one after the other, until a dozen is met.
As 12 held Aothis fast, we 12 unleashed our prayers and let the Godhammer fall.
Then it blossoms brightly, once, and resumes its candle intensity. In the aftermath, the shadows seem sharper in the vicinity, as if they have edges, and you blink to clear your vision. Durance is still staring at the tiny candle-like flame intently.
Shadows cast by the fire of the Godhammer, perhaps. We shared their fate as well in time. Now the spine of the Deerwood is marked by the Godhammer, marked by Margaret. Not all deaths come with stilled breath and stilled heart, or other stilled passions beneath the waste.
Don't, that's,
Some deaths come
gotta keep
from
it G-rated for the
silence.
kids, man. You can't just...
The connection we once shared with Margaret. After the light of the Godhammer, it was was not the same. It was as if we'd lost our senses, and sense of purpose as well. Instead of victory being welcomed, there was silence, within and without. Not many can claim to have killed a god. It is less a heroic tale than you would think.
Well, I don't think it is her.
Such a death. It changed our faith. All faiths, I expect. Doubt followed, and the world changed. I do not believe Margaret was pleased by what we had done.
Why is that?
The world is broken. The wheel still. There is sickness in the world's heart.
That's a bad precedent, right?
Perhaps
If you
the
can kill
price
one god,
of crossing
then
a god.
how many more can follow?
Crossing two gods. Even as Margaret shaped our hands, perhaps we carried her will farther than was allowed. Just as Widewind did.
It's wide.
Saint Widewind. Mortal arrogance to match mortal arrogance. Yet if the world had changed, then I sought to change with it. If I had forgotten some of Margaret's teachings, I would find them again. I would make her see me again. I remembered Margaret's teachings. How reminders on the flesh were more important than the death of a vessel. And I wondered if killing Aethys, if that had simply set him free. Had it allowed him to escape his punishment and be taken on the wheel? Like a mortal? As I stepped from the now blessed Godhammer Bridge, I thought of Ashfall. I thought of the War of Black Trees. Wondered if I needed to be burned to find myself again. That is Margaret at her heart. At least that is my hope. These are the doubts that befall me. The road to Ashfall is long. Gives one time to think. If you think long enough, you do not go home. I left without telling anyone, with only the robes I wore at Halgot, my staff, and my name, which is long buried. Of my fellow 11 craftsmen,
12, right?
disciples, I know not what happened to them, if they suffered the same doubt as I did. But it was underserved. It was wrong. We had done all that Or had asked. Grab victory from defeat and
Feel as
there
if your
is
god betrayed you?
something about being used and cast aside. Perhaps Widewen himself felt it. There at the end, when the hammer struck. To be the proof that your god is hollow as the vessel it inhabits. I tried to find purpose, and avoided all contact with other Magranic priests. Did not seek the walls of Ashfall, and sought to make amends to my god through actions.
Doing what exactly?
I joined with the Purges for a time, and not long after came the first signs of the Hollowborn. So many crimes, trespasses, violations. The Salvation. Animancers were another sickness born of the Saints' War. A relapse of innovation, of desperation to heal what we had caused. All seemed worse than before the bridge, not better. And as years passed, the world became even worse still for the victory.
The Purges weren't what he wanted either. Sweat collects in the sooty creases of his forehead, runs down his ruddy cheeks. It drips from the tip of his nose. His mouth moves, but his utterance makes no sound. He is, for once, at a loss. Feeling your gaze, he quickly composes himself, wiping his forehead with the back of a dirty hand.
Huh? Worship the whims of some fickle bitch, and you'll never be more than dirt beneath her feet. Worship what she worships, on the other hand. Take her fire for your own, and her esteem comes on its own. Of course, by that time you no longer need it. Trial and transformation, sure as Durance taught.
Durance glares at you, and staring into his eyes gives you the feeling of peering over the edge of a great cliff.
You think to put the coals to my feet, but what's burned once will never burn again. These talks are your trial, Watcher. You cannot deflect the truth to one who has already been purified by it.
Are you sure about that? We chose the bridge because we could control it. Durance's hands tightened at the top of his staff, as if holding it by the neck. It was a place where we could choke Ethos in his own footsteps, where we knew his feet would fall. A narrow neck of stone. But it was more than that. It was the spine of the deerwood, symbolic of its backbone. Such symbols are important in the construction of a weapon. Durance studies the staff, his eyes traveling across the etchings. Any weapon. Durance's face hardens, and his eyes burn. His eyebrows narrowing. I suspect Ethos knew that as well, as did his vessel, in its arrogance. His hands tightened on the staff. He intended to walk upon the bridge, as if walking on the backs of the deerwood. And we intended to burn him with the light of our faith, and his. 12 on the bridge, 12 in the shadow, and gave ourselves to it.
We put much of ourselves into the Godhammer. Such a device is not simply a machine. There are elements of the spirit in it. Even Widewind's spirit.
Widewind?
We all studied Widewind. He was our enemy, and he had provided the flesh the god wore as a cloak. That flesh made him vulnerable. I knew what fields his hands had tilled, his family, what he had harvested, where he had been born. We sought to know him, what had led him to fight us.
Why was that important?
You don't kill the god. You kill the man it inhabits. And you leave that man a ruin. Burn him to ash. The weapon was meant to not only burn his flesh, but it would burn his soul. And it did. At the cost of our own. And at the cost of our goddess's favor. That whore be damned.
Is that why your image was blurred in the dream? Perhaps your eyes were blinded by the Godhammer's light, Watcher. I may feel half a man at times, but even that is twice of most others. Yeah, sure, you keep telling yourself that.
If you fear for my spirit, your fears are baseless. The Godhammer, seeing its light, only fueled my anger and made me stronger. Made me re-examine the teachings of Margaret. Put them in a new light.
I don't know about that, man. Let's see.
I do not need you to cast any more questions on me, Watcher. Nor did I ask you to look upon me without my leave. Get gone, and leave me be.
Can't even look at him without questions? Come on. Can't talk more?
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skinning your knuckles on the wrong.
The Watcher runs 2 rows of why. For me, it's a matter of what. There's a time when I wouldn't have spared a thought for your words, or even bothered with you. But now, seeking out Watchers is what I do, to put the truth to them, see which of the 2 ways they bend. What kind of truth? Either you're a dry field in need of a harvest burning, or you're lost in the darkness. Either way, you can see differently from others. I can tell by the way you notice the staff first off. Not many can see it at first, nor the etchings or the flames, but your eyes. Your eyes trace the path. That I could see. So which are you? A dry field or lost in darkness? The day we don't trade that question back and forth is the day our paths no longer need to be joined. The trial. The trial is done. So you don't know either? You know this nation's diseased. Don't need to be a Watcher to see it in the children, the politics, the men that stalk the roads with knives in hand and murder in their eyes. This land needs life again. New seeds planted in the burned soil. Something tells me you can see the path to making that future happen, Watcher. Your kind always does. A second. So then, we need to make sure you see truly now. This nation, its people, don't need any more lies blinding them. Nor do I. You test the truth. You don't blindly accept it. How do you plan to test me? Sharing the road, of course. One truth to match another. Matching each other's pace. Keeping rhythm. Other priests can keep their teachings and rantings for my faith, my teaching. Sharing the road is a simple, hard truth. And when you knock one truth against the leg of another, why? Both legs stand firm. But now if you strike a lie at the knee with the same force, his smile dies and his eyes narrow. Why? You make a cripple with but one leg to stand on. You won't find my truth lacking. The road is young, so are your words. The truth will win out. Keep pace, and we'll see.
The cost of troubling me seems to worry you little.
Tell me about the hollow board?
That's a curse that runs deeper. It's a god hammer of a different sort. And like the god hammer, it was made by men's hands.
All things have a price. Left unchecked, faithlessness, virtues, it leaves marks on souls. Until souls don't have the strength to enter bodies that are pure. Animancers, ciphers, all who play games with the fabric of souls are to blame for the barren field they leave behind. I'm pretty sure it's not the Animancers. Even Watchers do the same. Some simply watch, others try to weave souls, guide them as surely as widewind across even endure. That is why I correct the hollowborn when I find them, and the ones whose hands have led to the seed being spilled on the ground. Correct the hollowborn?
There are fewer souls. There are more vessels. It is simply equaling of the process.
So you kill babies. Wow, that's dark. Wait, that doesn't bother you?
I feel more remorse in putting down a slathering hound. A wict? Less than a mongrel in its misery. Murder is a kindness, not a crime. Always has been. I would sooner put the blade to those who are to blame instead. If any spirit should be punished, it's theirs.
And who's to blame? The fields of the Direwood are filled with weakness, ripe for those that play with souls, minds. Animancers, this is the thing. Bear more of the burden than their victims, and more of the punishment. Every year has seen a new crime. The Saints' War, the Hollowborn, and the Salvation. There is no proof Watchers are to blame. There are few who can shape a soul in such a manner, such a fashion. And any Watcher, any true Watcher born in the Direwoods, will be able to see the crime even if they did not cause it. Silence itself is damning. Why don't you end me then?
Murder you? I would not grant you any of them.
You'd equate murder?
The mercy I grant the Hollowborn. You would not be deserving of it.
You'd equate murder with mercy.
Is an old word. Mercy is letting a soul fly free to the next body. True punishment? Ruining someone to their soul. Crack their spirit like you would
Durance,
crack their skull
you're a real piece of shit, man.
Hurt them in mind and body, so their souls become shards. But you leave it inside the vessel, like a bag of glass, to either choke on it, or pass it through their bloody stool.
Yeah,
Then
you're not a great person.
leave it in the body to think on it, like planting a new field with the right seed. Many marks may I make upon your flesh, but flame leaves marks that cannot heal. Magrin doctrine dictates true punishment is one that remains in memory, in the soul, in the flesh. Even should the victims die, slowly or swift, sometimes by their own hand afterwards, the lesson lingers, burned in their flesh.
Man, that seems harsh.
Have you seen a man branded by flame? He remembers it always, in every waking movement. It is a lesson writ in the only ink and vellum that matters, blood and flesh. One can burn the soul as well. It is an art, and I do not take pleasure in it. But there is more at stake here than forgiveness. Many of Aethys' faith were punished in the purges following the Saints' War. And the ones that harmed children, they suffered worse. We did what must be done. Wherever they were rooted out, their souls reclaimed. And if they couldn't
you did some
be
messed up
reclaimed,
things, man.
we ensured
Honestly,
they
you're
would
kind of a
never
villain.
inhabit another body.
Okay. No, I keep talking, man.
What? If doubts and curiosity...
Okay.
What? If doubts and curiosity...
Tell me about Magron.
Hmm?
Nope, still nothing.
If doubts and curiosity... Where I hail from? From one of Magron's fires. A cathedral. Ashfall. Made of blackened trees. I studied the scriptures there. The fires carved into the land. The trunks of the burnt trees. And in the factories where the rifles and cartridges were shaped. All are chapels in other devotions.
For Magron, any fire is enough for worship, physical or not. A blacksmith's anvil, craftsman's bench, all arenas where fire is waiting to be born. It just needs a spark, like an alchemical fire, or a spark to cartridges to speed them to their purpose. Weird, it's a little brighter than that. But yes, cartridges. Guns all had a purpose, and that purpose was punching holes in mages and letting their pompous air hiss out. Woke their kind right up and kept them staring at the ceiling in the dark instead of sleeping, that's for certain. Pompous air indeed. A little violence isn't accounting, an answer for unchecked power. Well, Magron gave an answer for that. Magron put soldiers and mages on equal footing. Mages were troublesome in that time. Firearms made every man a mage, and a caster's pretty arcane shield was little match for them. It turned each commoner into a beast that could spit fire. It leveled the field of battle, that's for certain. Made many mage a grave. Alright, so you gotta keep camping with him in order to... Oh,
I'm here.
forgot about my purpose here.
Hey.
We gotta... Yep, there's somebody waiting for us in the hall. Well, we should probably save before this. Yep. What the hell is this? Oh, oops. I've heard a lot about you, Lord Dang. Seem like a man who knows how to get results. I have a matter I'd like to discuss with you, if you hear me out. Brutal. Let's hear it. Alright. Some of these actions are only available when you do other stuff, so I don't wanna... I'll just load or something. As a ruler of Kanu, I'm sure you've seen your troublemakers. People determined to tear you down so you can share in their misery. Had a few incidents on my hand. Rabble-rousing peasants, you see. Shameful as it is, they've gotten somewhat out of hand. Refusing to work, threatening my guards, spouting this nonsense about unfair treatment. It's not as if I don't pay them. In any case, I fear they won't back down. The situation will only get worse if I don't put an end to it. Things may get a little messy. Thought it best. What exactly is this peasant been saying? That they don't enjoy the benefits of their labor? That they are treated too harshly? They're lazy, my lord. That is all. There is power and mercy, Lord Brynwicker. Treat the people fairly and they'll be happy to work for you. It's a soft approach to it. Without people, you're nothing to rule over but rocks and trees. Try showing at least a little respect. I grant that there's some merit in what you say. Thank you for your time. Consider your words while I journey home. Oh, okay. Wow! People like that usually don't listen to diplomatic solutions. I'm surprised that worked. Greetings, my lord. You meet him at the earliest convenience at the Ducal Palace. Your claim on Kanu have been called into question by the Gaffman family. Earl Bademar has issued a ruling on the matter, but both you and Lord Gaffman must be present. Tell me about this Lord Gaffman. An old Adirian lineage, I believe. The former lord of the stronghold, a distant relative of Lord Gaffman, allied himself with the losing side during the War of Defiance. Kanu is mine. The Gaffman family disagrees. As your claim is not based on lineage, an official ruling is required to remedy this dispute. Alright, I'll go greet him then. The Chancellor will wait you in the records room of the Ducal Palace in the first fires. Oh, I mean, we have to go to the palace now. Man, there's so much stuff in that city. Alright, well.
It's very nice. We're not sleeping here, are we?
Oh, we definitely are. How many more? 23 hours more. Alright, well, we got time for that. I really wish there was a fast travel out of the area, because now I have to run to the edge, and then, you know. Should I go first fires first? I guess so. 22 hours and 30 minutes. So much reading. Alright, let's go. Oh, that's right. Wait, is it the Crucible Knights in this one, or is it, oh yeah, it's Crucible Keep. Alright, what the hell? Sidley.
Well met, friend.
What's the Ducal Palace? It's the seat of governance here in Defiance Bay. This is where Duke Admeth Hadret declared freedom from ancient rules some 150 years ago. It's also a hotbed of regional politics. Trust me, the gossip here beats what you'll find in any tavern or brothel in the city. Ah, Deerwood politics. It changes too quickly to be worth keeping up with. Better to strike up conversation in the taverns than try to loiter inconspicuously in the palace corridors. Who are you? I'm a page here. I deliver messages and run errands for the Duke and his advisors. The pay is not great, but I can't think of a better introduction to politics. Oh, she's a freaking intern. Okay. Shrines of Mara. Alright. Oh, so her importance went up because she created the Godhammer bomb. Kind of record store here. Mostly dull official stuff. Census counts, tax records, militia registers. Now I keep my distance. Got curious one day and got drafted into reshelving half of the records. She yawns. Worst day of my life. Some hearing? The legacy. Yeah. Why is animacy so controversial? Traditionalists think this is a crime against the gods. There's no question that poking around in souls is risky, but the more progressive elements believe it's our only shot at restoring healthy births. And it doesn't help matters that animacy research often involves old Angwithan relics that were illegally looted from ruins in Ear Glenfaith. She makes a quick twitching motion between her index and middle finger. Oh. It's really expensive. Hollow board, yeah. What do you think about animancers? Me? I think the real danger of animacy is confusing a real scholar with an expensive fake. We get a new case here every day. Some poor couple in the Gift or Copper Lane who spent every copper they had on a miracle cure for their unborn child. It never works. She shakes her head. Breaks her heart, but there's usually nothing we can do for them. To our current Duke. That would be Avar Wolfgren. Don't let the title fool you, though. Our Dukes have been elected since independence. Some find Duke Avar rather coarse. He's a frontier noble. Personally, I think a rough and tumble type is just what Defiance Bay needs. Oh, friendly enough. Yeah, I met the White House intern essentially. That's nothing worth stealing.
Hey.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I do have an official invitation, right? Here we go.
Hail and well met.
Praise be to Magra. Welcome to our temple. Come if you seem upset. What's wrong? This is about the fires, isn't it? They're just symbols. You can't put your faith in them. Still didn't tell me what this is about. The sacred fires all around, pyres all around town. You must have seen the statues of goddesses around the city, holding up empty braziers. Kept them burning steadily for 15 years, but I haven't been able to conjure them for months now. People need to see them more than ever. What does that mean? It's my devotion and prayers that keep them lit. But lately, when I try to pray, all I can think about are the hollowborn all over the city. The grieving families, the refugees. How can Magran allow us to suffer like this? What strength do we gain from a soulless child? What strength do we gain from adversity? From trial and test? The fires don't wither because she lacks in faith. They wither because she does not understand how to be faithful to the whore, or to a whore. A whore wants neither praise nor devotion. A whore wants to be compensated for her services. Magran is paid and pleasured in sweat and struggle and pain. This mewling imbecile is unworthy of Magran's womanly heat. And this has shaken your faith? She nods, running her hands through her hair. But I believe Magua may be speaking to me again. She frowns and casts a quick glance in your direction. Does Charlie sound so far-fetched to someone like you? Lately I've been seeing visions. A place in the wilderness with pools filled with sunbursts of color. Strange falls that seem to rise to the heavens even while they splash into the earth. And behind the falls is a cave, filled with fire and heat and danger, as some token of my goddess. I know there's something there, but where it is or how I get there. I've been meaning to ask around at the expedition hall to see if anyone recognizes the description. To be honest though, I don't know what I'd do even if I found the place. Huh, worthless, like so many of Magran's flock, afraid of her god's tests. If Magran speaks to her, it is to hasten an end to a hypocrite's life, and his vision is surely a death trap for the weak. Okay. What's the significance of sacred prayers? They symbolize Magran's power and guidance, and right now the people of Defiance Bay need to be assured of her presence. Our neighbors in the Valiant Republic see us as superstitious, but we're just sensitive to the signs and warnings of the gods. Okay. Oh,
Hey.
time to...
Of course.
Time to go meet in the... Marshal Forwin. Oh, give me a second. Yeah, stuff happens sometimes. Yeah, leveling is slow, guys. Feels bad. It's kind of sad you don't get to raise your attribute stats because I'm not great at passing tests. My character's mainly Constitution. It's not the best. Ugh. There we go. Chancellor, thank you for coming, Yang. I've been trying to track you down for some time. This is Marshal Forwin, Earl Bademore's military advisor. He will serve as a witness for his proceeding. He gestures. Well met, Road Warden. Your reputation precedes you. I admit you've created a bit of a stir throughout the nobility for your reclamation of Kainua. Most are still not sure what to think of you. What's this about? The legitimacy of your claim to Kainua is in question. Earl Bademore has issued a ruling on the matter. Kainua was abandoned for over a century, and I've claimed the land through strength of arms. My claim is legitimate. If there were no other claimant, you would be correct. Unfortunately, that is not the case. All will be made clear once Lord Gaffin arrives. Do you have any questions? Tell me about. Okay. As fine a man as I know. It's an honor to serve him. Tell me about the grasp. Yenwood? Okay. What do you know about Gaffin? While I've met him but once, it was ample time to determine the character of Lord Arler Gaffin, or lack thereof. He's descended from an old Adrian line that predates the War of Defiance. His great-grandfather, Rannig Gaffin, was the Earl of Yenwood during the war. That is, until he was stripped of his lands and driven from Deerwood. We know. Okay. What is about the Road Warden? The one who rules Kainua on behalf of the Earl of Yenwood is traditionally known as the Road Warden. Your position might not be entirely official yet, but the title is an appropriate form of address. In fact, that blade you carry was forged by the very first Road Warden. He gestures at the sword at your side. I've heard that the Whispers of Yenwood is only ever found by those meant to rule Kainua. So hey, the sword itself can be proof of my legitimacy, right? Here he comes. An opulently dressed man strides towards the Chancellor, his sandy hair trailing him like a banner caught in the light breeze, boot heels echoing throughout the hall. An elven woman with cropped hair dressed in dark, glinting mail shadows his steps before taking position alongside him. She watches you unabashedly, taking your measure. Let's move past this formality as quickly as possible. I have other matters to attend to. It is well known that Kainua belongs to me, by right. Wow, that's presumptuous. And where is this pretender? Show me the fool that thinks to steal my land. Where is this low-born wretch? Warren clears his throat and glances at you. This man here? This is the Lord of Kainua? I thought he was just another servant. Perhaps a valet or a porter. Everyone who owns their own keep. Raise a hand. Go on. Don't be shy. Imbecile. I hope you've enjoyed your time squatting on my land. Provoke me further and I'll hang you from the highest wall of Kainua when our business is finished. Chancellor, read the Earl's decree. Warren breaks the seal on the scroll and unfurls it. Regarding the matter of the Gapin claim on Kainua, Earl Baidmar finds that Gapin's claim was never relinquished. By law, Kainua is the rightful property of the Gapin family. Oh, god damn it. Well, do I have to fight for it? I have not yet finished reading, my lord. Gapin rolls his eyes and motions for the Chancellor to continue. However, the Earl recognizes Yang's part in reclaiming Kainua, a site that stood abandoned and even, some would say, cursed for over a century. Before Kainua's return to the Gapin family, the Earl has decreed that Lord Gapin will provide compensation in the form of absolutely nothing. Gapin folds his arms, a defiant scowl on his face. My lord? The amount is quite reasonable, and a requirement for your land to be returned to you, if you'll just allow me to finish. I'll not pay a single copper to this miscreant for my ancestral land. Do you think I'm blind to the Earl's motive, lackey? He thinks he can send a message with this insult. I have a message you can send to this. Whoa, already? Enough. How dare you give me an order? My lord, I suggest you calm yourself immediately. The marshal's tone is calm, but his hand rests on the sword of the hilt of his sword. The elven woman deftly draws a pistol from her thick leather belt, her eyes wide in anticipation. My lords, please, there's no need for violence. Lord Gapin holds your gaze for several heartbeats, eyes burning with hatred. I'll be coming for what's mine. Count on it. Come, Captain Emery. We're leaving. He sneers defiantly before storming down the hall. The captain lowers her pistol and gives a smirking shrug before following her employer. Hey, if you're eager to rush to your deaths, feel free. Well, I can't say that Gapin's reaction was entirely unexpected. Though, through no fault of your own, I'm afraid you made a powerful enemy. He did seem a little upset, didn't he? I heard he's always been vicious, even as a boy. And he could hold a grudge for a very long time. What? He didn't do anything before, like... You know, that land was empty, right? If I didn't reclaim it... And even then, it's cursed. Like, he's just gonna die if I give it to him. In any case, Kainua now officially belongs to you, since Lord Gapin has rejected the Earl's decree. Here, this belonged to one of the old lords of Kainua. By right, it's now yours. To give him 1,000? You gained an item. It's time to be clever. Should I? 1,000's not that much, but frankly I need that money to do the thing. Please extend an invitation to Lord Gapin to feast with me within the halls of Kainua. There's no need for us to be enemies. That is a generous offer. I'll make sure it reaches Lord Gapin. It was a pleasure to finally meet you, my lord. Perhaps we'll speak again under more pleasant circumstances. Alright. Can I talk to them?
Hail and well met.
We're going to find some militia. We've had a number of inquiries about such information. I'm afraid we've had to bar access to the public. Seems there's still quite a number of folks in Darwood who bear ill will towards Reitserans. It would be irresponsible to surrender names to just anyone. Many came to settle here as refugees. Perhaps if you were more established in Defiance Bay, things would be different. Okay. I don't know. Many such stories. Alright, well, I need a higher reputation inside Defiance Bay, I guess. Alright, well, I'm pretty sure as I clear up, alright. Whew, that was a lot of time spent doing basically nothing. We're 40 minutes in already, and like, it was just all dialogue.
Your brother, did you and he get along?
We got along how brothers do. He used to throw water on me to wake me up in the morning. I used to fill his boots with stinging ants.
My own brothers and sisters are doing very well for themselves, back in Tekoa. I don't know that they'd search for me if I were killed so far from home.
Brothers can be funny. I bet you'd be surprised how far they'd go.
Huh. Alright, let's go to Copper Lane then, right? Yep. There's quite a few quests in Copper Lane, actually. Oh, construction complete. Let's go. What do we got? Well, we need strength, right? So, should I just get more security? Should I just get the cheap ones first? Why not both? Alright. Oh, who's this? Scrivener.
Hey. All right then.
Let me see. Where's the? We gotta go to Scrivener Hall. We gotta go to the freaking whole bunch of houses, marketplace. Do I have to go? Oh yeah, I have to go back and give the. Whew, to go to Darwood Lane or something? Let me see. Or to go to Brackenberry. Where to go? Where to go to Darwood Village? It's not Corin I'm looking
Welcome.
for, am I? Looking for Vienna. I like Vienna. She's always talking about metal men, which is strange, since I'm pretty sure she doesn't eat snowcap. I don't talk about metal men either, and I do eat snowcap. Huh. Anyway, she's not here right now. Flew away to Andra's gift to meet her friend Bessia. No, Clessia. Clessia is the friend she's gone to meet. In Andra's gift. In a house. Not a boat. Dwarf house. Empty house. This guy's stoned. Hey. She is probably dead.
You must.
We're probably never gonna find. Well, we're probably not gonna see her alive. Oh, wait, what? Huh? Oh, there's time quests? What? Oh. Your mirror in legend holds that certain infant created a miraculous knot that the faithless could not untie. A daring burglar recently cleaned out the myriad precious relics in the Swiss Hall in your mirror. Where each treasure once stood, a string was tied, each leading back to an intricate knot in the center of the temple. The burglar left a tantalizing clue in the form of a written prayer to Saint Infant, but the riddle has stumped the locals. Desperate to recover their artifacts, the priests have reached out to mercenaries and adventurers for help. Okay. Oh. Damn it! You need. Okay, so you need a seventh party member before you can do it. Well, in that case. What other quests do I have? Well, I'll have to go back to. What else in Copper Lane? Dunwood Road. I'm assuming that's in there. Show Eater to the Records Archive. Oh, I did that already. Oh, but I need to get access to it. Alright.
Of course.
Okay, here we're going to the goose. Probably should save because things are about to. Always save options I have. Gareth. Is that the guy? Raza's delivery free. Keep your voice down, will you? The Dominoes have spires everywhere. You tell Ronzo this is the last time I'm buying from him. This is getting too dangerous for him. What does you have no idea, do you? Let's say the Dominoes have exclusive rights to certain merchandise within the city. Ronzo likes to make some extra coin from time to time by dealing the same merchandise, undercutting the competition, he says. What was in that pouch? Bitter squash seeds. They interrupt pregnancies, even though they're not exactly. Whoa! Did I just? Okay. Many folks prefer them to the risk of hollowborn or celibacy. Oh, so because of the risk of hollowborn, they want to. The price of birth control went up even higher. Did I just do something illegal? Nope. I think I heard Dominoes. Old Brackenberry stuff. Uh-oh. Stuff happened. A woman swaggers in, her polished boots thwacking the floor with slow, deliberate steps. A quick sneer warps her smooth face. Gareth, I'm hurt. You promised to buy only from me. What's a girl to think? Please, my lady, I was just explaining that I don't do business with anyone else. Except this one last time, right? There's always one more deal. Until you run out of credit, that is. And just who are you? You don't exactly look like a seed dealer. Not someone to be trifled with. Just might have use for someone like you. Ronzo put you up to this, didn't he? The old fool's on a sinking ship, and he's determined to drag anyone who gets close enough down with him. Gareth here knows better, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. In fact, I'll give you a chance to get even with the imbeciles playing us both. What do you say to? Why would I want to do that? Why wouldn't you? He used you to do his dirty work, and without telling you anything about what you were carrying, or who you were crossing. He taps a finger to her jaw and his voice slows. Of course, I'll consider a personal favor. And House Domino never gets stingy with its friends, the loyal ones anyway. Wealthiest. I won't do it. Then scurry back to Ronzo and get your payment while you still can. Just make sure you stay out of my way. Okay.
Hey.
Yep, not doing it. This is probably going to lead to a confrontation, isn't it? Let's do this quick before we get that new, Oh no, not the other way. It's faster. Hold on. There's a way to the bridge though, isn't it? God, I wish you could scroll faster. Oh, still can't get to Manbur Bridge? Alright, well, owner's gift it is.
Have you ever chased a skirt wizard? Or do you merely hide behind them?
Don't pawn your...
They will use you, cast you off when it suits them. Never speak another word.
Oh. Nope, bunch of addicts. What is this? Nope, this is not the house. Just say north. What now? Let's see. This one maybe? Okay. Where are you?
Hey.
Let's say north. Oh, there's colorblind mode in this game. That's interesting. This one maybe? Yep, there's an abandoned house over there. Let's go!
What?
Hey.
we were here before, but... Whoa. As you enter the room, you see several figures huddled together. They stand at attention, armed, but not in matched gear, like the Crucible Knights. At the center of the group, one woman looms over another, holding a flail. She snarks at the cowering figure. You've got pages of research here. You expect me to believe this was just your scratch work? It's nothing, I promise, just my notes. Hear a painful smack as the woman backhands her captive. We know you were meeting with the Crucible Knights. You think they're the only ones with power in this city? They call us the Dozens for a reason. I won't ask you again. You shouldn't be here. Let her go and I'll pretend I never saw this. Oh, what? We're fighting the Dozens? Alright. Well, you should keep her.
Beyond sea.
Oh, they're trapped in the doorway. There we go. Oh wow, that's so strong when they're all clustered up together. It's time to go for it again. Oh, this might just kill all of them. Here we go. Well, I'm already using freaking all my rest spells here, so I'm gonna use it.
Love. Beyond sea. Lava. Beyond sea.
Yeah, sure, whatever. You done it.
Of course. Hey.
Okay. Let's get that loot. Viana's face is covered in bruises, and her eyes are wide with shock and relief. I don't know who you are, but thank you. I'm sure they were gonna kill me. What happened here? I thought I was coming here to meet my friend from the Republics. It looked like I walked into a trap. The Dozens must have been watching me for a while. I've been working on a special project for the Crucible Knights, and they weren't exactly subtle about contacting me. Wait, so the two peacekeeping organizations in this city are just freaking killing people to get to each other? It's gotten that bad. Deals with a rare branch of animacy. No offense, but I probably shouldn't get too specific without Commander Cleaver's permission. He commissioned it after all. You can see the trouble a little indiscretion has got me into. Studied animacy in Ozia, back in the Valiant Republics. I came to Defiance Bay to research local advances, but instead of going to Brackenberry Sanitarium, I found a position as a scrivener in the Temple of Whale. I've had access to many rare manuscripts that most animators never see. She shrugs. Of course, I've had to keep my head down. I've been careful not to let the head librarian or my colleagues know what I've been working. Just waiting for my research. You take it to him? I kept it with me to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands, but you can see how well that worked out. She took it from me when I arrived. Anyway, don't wait on me. I can make my own way out of here.
Hey.
Ooh, we got some special armor.
You give me any more gifts and people will start thinking you're playing favorites.
Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Just dump it all in the thing. Alright, who's wearing heavy armor? Let's see. Oh. Well, the armor is unique. What's so good about it? Let's see. Plus defection and ranged attacks. Alright, so that it's really about protecting against projectiles, right? Is his armor unique? Free damage reduction. Oh wow, that's pretty interesting. So you get to revive. I think I should put him with heavy armor though. It's good for him, but is there any soulbound? No. Give him the heavy armor.
Of course.
Alright. Although I probably have another fight coming because of that. Once I go back to Bronzo. What else? Hold on. No. We're gonna go into that ramshackle house because that's probably where the hoodlums are or whatever. Ramshackle house. Ooh. Oh, here we go. Oh. Time to save. Hold on, did I?
Welcome.
I look like one of the knights. Lieutenant of the Dozens. We're the last fighting force that remembers what it means to be a Derwin. I'm the only one who carries away me as squeezing the locals. Wait, what happens? Hey. Oh, so they want to go against harassing thugs.
Of course.
Oh.
Good day, stranger.
Oh, could attack if I want. Alright, so that's who's behind it. It's actually a Crucible Knight or a dozen? These guys are into some shady shit, I guess. So they're angry at that. What's her name? The brothel art leader is squeezing the what should we call it? Is squeezing the locals. But I mean, it's a brothel, right? You don't have to go. This is probably gonna get ugly. Oh, here we go.
Good day, stranger.
Go save them both a lot of trouble. Well, here they come.
Well, well. Is this your last day among the living, Versano?
Let's see. Oh. Your timing's impeccable, Palangino. The Dominoes are after me. Please, you've got to stop them. Got to is a strong word, man. Oh.
As if any of this were ever in my hands. The Republic's considered your business worth protecting based on its success. That success depended on cooperation with the locals, like House Dominel. You've lost that. And the favor of the Dukes. Even if you get out of this alive, they're done with you. The Dukes have more pressing interest in Defiance Bay than rescuing one merchant who threw himself overboard.
Have mercy, Palangino. I don't stand a chance against the Dominoes. I brought failure and shame on myself, but you can't mean to watch your countrymen die like a dog.
Versano, Versano. Why are you wasting your precious breath on me? My orders come through the ambassador, and through the ambassador from people you should be honored ever gave a moment's thought to whether you live or die.
Wow. Supposed to be a paladin?
You don't seem like the sort to petition the gods to keep him out of hell. So why not cry mercy to the one person in this room with the power to grant it?
She turns her attention to you and raises her feathered eyebrows expectantly. Should I? It's both pretty messed up.
A hard fate, but not unwarranted.
Benevolent too. I know you have a kind heart. Please, I never meant for either of us to come to harm. I only wanted to save my business. Don't let them slaughter me like this.
Do as you will. He's no longer my concern.
Wow, he's just gonna walk away? Damn. Oh, here she comes. Dana saunters through the door, flanked by a squad of Domino foot soldiers. She lets her gloved hand rest on the hilt of her weapon. If you collected whatever, I hope you've collected whatever payment you owed, because there won't be much left of this fool soon. As you leave the warehouse. Oh. Whoa, I don't even get a chance to change my mind? I would have done it. If he had just given me the money, I'll frickin'... I would have fought her. Well, never mind. Now what?
Ah. It's done then. You did the right thing. Vertzano has no one to blame for this but himself. We gave him more than enough warnings, but he never listened. In any case, the embassy's entanglements with him have been cut, which also means that I'm free from Vertzano's net of stupidity. You have
Wow, you
mine.
thank me for getting your block. Or well.
Whether you intended to or not, you've done the Valian Republics a service today, ridding us of him. I work closely with the embassy to protect our interests, but lately I think our gaze has been too narrow. You clearly have pursuits of your own in the city, but I think we could help each other out. If you're interested in doing some work for us. Officially, I mean. We can go together and I'll introduce you to the ambassador.
Sure, that sounds fine.
Good. Maybe I can finally do something more worthwhile than playing nanny to merchants. The embassy is up in First Fires, southwest of the Ducal Palace.
Okay. Yeah, I've been there already. Oh, hey. Alright. Who do I let go of? Damn, they're all pretty useful. And I have to travel with Durance for the thing, so... Huh. She is a melee fighter. Oh, Edir's too valuable for freaking, let me see. They're all pretty good. Zagani kind of isn't. Let's see, okay.
Farewell.
Well, we're a really melee heavy team now because of that. Let's see. What do I do? Alright. Oh, we have to go back to the. We have to go back to the embassy, right? Oh yeah, that's right. We could have her do the sign. Alright, remaining 3 turns. How's the thing being built right now? 1 day and 21 hours.
Hey.
I can just freaking go back and forth to... Actually, what's her abilities? I'm curious. What does she do? She's a paladin. Oh, everyone has about the same amount of XP. Alright, what does she actually do? Zealous focus. The paladin's intense and pure conviction instills clarity of purpose in him or her and all allies, increasing their accuracy. Oh, that's pretty strong. Lay on hands. Is able to heal. Whoa, she has healing too? Flames of devotion. Causes an inner fire, causing their equipped weapons to burst into flames and adding burn damage to their next attack.
Hey.
That's really cool. Oh, I can go to Heritage Hill already? Let's go back to First Fires though. Alright, we'll go talk to the ambassador and then, let's see.
Of course.
Embassy's right here. There we go. Vincent Agosti. Agosti? I don't know. This is the problem with fantasy, right? Sometimes they make up names that are super nuts. Oh, we have another.
With you on a matter of some urgency and great importance.
Sighing as though remembering some heavy burden, Vincent crosses his arms before replying. Palagina, this is the same matter we previously discussed. I doubt I will be convinced any more easily. Please hear her out. The ambassador praises you for several moments and nods respectfully. You are well known in Defiance Bay, even in the Valiant embassy. Oh, I got some rep? Yo, got some street cred? So what happens? So keeping a respectable company these days. Hardly a good reason to go stirring up trouble with animancers and who knows what else.
Ambassador, there are issues at stake here that go beyond rogue merchants and a port staying open. Animancy is under attack in Defiance Bay.
So she's for animancy. We have to protect our interests here, but that also means knowing when to avoid unnecessary entanglements. The animancers and the locals have problems. They'll work them out, or they won't. Either way, there's too much to risk by getting involved.
If it is outlawed here, what would prevent the same from happening in our republics?
The ambassador's face vacillates between expressions of sympathy and frustration. Palangina, I do not think your concerns were unfounded, but it is not the place of this embassy to countermand the republic's policies. Oh, here we go. If it makes any difference, I already looked into the matters. It doesn't, but it would be fortuitous if your investigation took you to Twin Elms, because that's where Palagina needs to go. Why?
What is it the Dukes need of me, Ambassador?
The Darwood's instability has created an opportunity for us to take over their trade with Glenfeff. We will need to meet up with the Glenfeffins soon to secure upcoming trade agreements. The road to Twin Elms can be dangerous, of course, but that's why you'll be our representative there.
Echosi, Ambassador. But won't this provoke the dear Woodins? Their country is falling apart, and we are already dividing up their trade alliances.
Provoke them into what? Going to war? Through no fault of the Republic's, the Deerwood's armies will have been deprived of an entire generation of soldiers. It would be foolish not to take advantage of the situation. If we don't, the Ritzarians will. Bastard, that's some cold compassion, considering what these people have been through.
More than that, Ambassador, there is a practical element to consider. We may profit in the short term from this arrangement, but what of the future?
Yo, the Paladin's telling you about the long-term gains and losses?
And the Republic's making the price for it.
We are not the Duke's Palagina. It's their decision, and our job to carry out the orders. It's not like they're asking you to assassinate someone. Palagina raises an eyebrow and clenches her jaw, but remains silent. Go to Twin Elms. Speak to the... and the Medfaf? Freaking making up these long-ass names. Impress upon her the instability of the Darwood, and reassure her of the Valiant Republic's desire to open safe trade.
Of course, Ambassador.
I know you planned on investigating the crisis together, but I hope you understand Palagina's responsibilities. Of course, we all have our duties to attend to.
Could have gone better. Could have gone worse. I appreciate that you stood up for me, but it's hard to persuade the Ambassador to go against the Duke's orders.
I know you're right, Palagina. We may find a way for you to fulfill your obligations while looking into what's really going on here. Don't worry.
Enough wisdom for both of us. Now, I just need to find out how to get to Twin Elms.
Oh, I hope you don't plan on getting to Twin Elms fast, because we're going on many, many side quests. Follow your heart. Do what you believe best for the Republic.
I wish I knew.
Hey.
What now? Don't embassies have houses and like beds, man? I can just sleep here instead of having to go to the inn. But nope. Gotta go crash. Rangers are bought.
Bring back the feisty one. There's a woman can do some damage squeezing her legs together.
It isn't a parlor trick. Besides, she doesn't take orders
Where
well.
else did I have to go?
She has backbone, that woman.
Crucible Keep, did I have to go? Oh yeah, I did.
No,
I did have to
but
go.
I won't
back
be
to Crucible
responsible
Keep.
for what happens if you call her whore.
Yep. Alright. Let's go. Sadly, my ranger went away, so I essentially lost her in the fox. But, you know. Got a new party member. It's fine. We can experience how this deploying your party thing works. What time is it? I got about another 20 minutes or so before I take a break. Who do I have to talk to? Cleaver, right? Let's see. Oh no, is it Dunstan? Commander Cleaver says you're working with an animaster to build Forge Knights.
So much for his talk of secrecy. I'm building Cleaver's metal warriors. He says they're what we need to keep order in Defiance Bay, so...
How are you creating these Forge Knights? Suits of armor and souls. Cleaver's had me repairing and reinforcing unused armor for months now, just so we could fill them with some poor sod's essence. As long as that scholar girl's got her numbers right, infusing the armor with assault won't be that hard. But that's not what bothers me. She's gonna work out a method. Okay. Bind the souls too tightly, and you get something like those flesh constructs. Too loosely, and they'll be too self-aware for their own good. Mad killers in metal bodies. Do you disagree? I disagree with him on near about everything, and this is no exception. These Forge Knights won't solve our manpower problem. He can call them what he wants, but they aren't knights. And don't get me started on the other problem. Those souls he bought to power the Forge Knights, Cleaver keeps telling himself that they came from willing donors, but he knows better. There's a reason you have to buy souls through less than legal channels. We should be clearing those scavengers off the road, not doing business with them.
That's what Cleaver's been looking for anyway. If you found it, I guess I've got to start.
We don't seem too happy about it. I'm not, and I'm surprised someone as compassionate as you going along with it. I made it clear to Cleaver that this is a mistake. Trying to harness souls like this, it's a crime against the gods, and it's bound to earn us more trouble than it saves them. But Cleaver's giving me his orders, so I gotta build these things as best as I can. Oh, okay. Valiant. Time to see if that Valiant was worth all that blood and copper. Hold up.
I'll be damned. To be honest, even I wasn't expecting it to work this well. Back to it.
Can I convince him to say to not go this further? I mean, I don't know. Alright, where's things over here? Okay. Oh no, this isn't it? This is Smith, he's up here.
Dunstan will complete the first squad of Forge Knights in no time. Now the High Justice will want to have his Forge Masters at Fleetbreaker Castle create more. I've made a copy of Viana's research, and the High Justice has sent a courier to Anslog's Compass to retrieve it. The dozens have gotten too active for the courier to come to Defiance Bay. And after Viana's kidnapping, we've got to assume they know about our plans. That's why I'm sending you to deliver the research. You shouldn't be recognizable to the dozens. Yet.
Yeah, no, there's a revealing word. We're trying to expand the family business. Okay, no, don't consider it.
Anslog's Compass is a small lagoon just north of Defiance Bay.
Oh, that's where I have to go for one of the side
Contact
quests.
will be a commander named Arenroad. She'll meet you by the docks. Return to me when you've finished. The High Justice has made the expansion of the Forge Knights his top priority, which means it's mine as well.
Can I convince him to reconsider? I guess not. Alright, well, now might be a good time to take it. I'm gonna go take a break. We'll continue this later. Thanks for watching.